Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And so for today, I wanted to kind of give you guys an update of my experience with iOS and an iPhone. Now this is like what, day 4? Let's see, I got it on the, I want to say the 27th. Yeah, I got it the day before Thanksgiving. So just about close to a week, almost. So about like 5 days already that I've had the iPhone and been using it. And let me tell you guys right now, okay, in order for me to be able to make this video for you guys, I've actually been using this more of my daily driver. Most of the people that are around me, you can ask them, they see me messaging more from this phone, using this phone more for like YouTube videos, listening to music from this phone, taking pictures with this phone. So this phone is mostly the one that's pulled out of my pocket. My Pixel 3 is always with me. I have it, you know, as that is my main device, my Google Fi number, and the number that my family knows of that contacts me on. But a lot of messaging and stuff has gone down on this phone. And I want to tell you guys what I think about it so far. And I'm a straight shooter and a no BSer. So you guys are going to get it clear, cut, and dry. Let me just state this. There really is not a major difference between iOS and Android. At this point right now, Android 10 and iOS 13, literally, you can say they copied from each other or they adopted from each other, whatever your pleasure is, say what you want to say. They are very similar. And so I didn't have any issues at all, really, as far as user experience wise. I don't feel anything different. I don't feel like that I'm a noob at iOS and using apps on iOS. It's pretty much nearly the same thing. There are some apps that have some differences from both platforms. Like the biggest one that I've noticed is Hangouts. Hangouts on iOS has 3 tabs at the bottom, and it doesn't require a companion app to activate the dialer, so you can use it as your all-in-one for phone calls, text, and chat. On Android, it requires a companion app, the Hangouts dialer, which I think that, you know, Google and their app development team for Hangouts on Android is pretty lazy. They should get rid of that companion app and natively build it into Hangouts, the same way as it is on iOS. They can move the tabs from the bottom to the top to make it stand out differently and say like, okay, that's an Android Hangouts app, that's an iOS Hangouts app. But the fact is that the iOS version of Hangouts, it has all these tabs at the bottom. It has contacts, your favorite messages, your messages, and then dialer. So it's all there. I think that should be implemented in the Android version of it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been saying that for some time now. As I believe that has been the formula or the format for Hangouts on iOS compared to Android. But not a huge major difference between them, but just how it looks aesthetically and just how well thought out it was development for the Hangouts app for iOS versus Android. But other than that, just about every app that I've used on Android, I use it on iOS, and there's not a significant huge difference in it. I don't know. Maybe people make these videos about, you know, first time iOS user or, you know, first time Android user. I think they do these videos and they over dramatize it to get an effect and a rise out of you guys. And yeah, they just overly exaggerate everything. Like, you know, they'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so hard for me to do this, or it's so hard for me to learn how to place widgets on the screen, like, you know, and then people thumbs down their video because they think the person's stupid, but they're not really stupid. They're just, in my opinion, I think they're just over dramatizing everything just to get views, clicks, and all that other stuff when it comes to YouTube, because like I'm being as straightforward as I can be with you guys, and that's the way I prefer to do my videos and to tell you guys my experience. And I'm not struggling. I'm not like, oh my gosh, iOS is so much harder to learn since I've been using Android for so long. Like, no. You know, like, hey, I figure it out. You tap an icon that launches an application. Woohoo! There it is, you know. 160 character limit on Twitter or something, you know. Not that that's true, but I'm just saying. And yeah, there's no difference at all. A tweet's a tweet. A Facebook post is a Facebook post. I've set up the iPhone 6s, and I know it's an older device. People are going to point that out. It's an older device. Yeah, of course it is. You know, I decided to, you know, just kind of edge my way in. You know, I'm not gonna spend money and invest on a modern iPhone, and if I have no use for it after these series of videos, Why? That's a waste of money. Now, I will tell you guys right now that, there is a pretty cool person who I will consider them a sponsor because they've offered to lend me a modern iPhone. It could be the 10s, the 10R, it could be the iPhone 10, or it can be, I doubt it'd be the 11. That's a brand new one out, but who knows? But yeah, a person wants to lend me an iPhone 10s to help out the channel, and yeah, there's no stipulations to it. There's no you have to say this and you can't say this type of thing. They're gonna let me do my thing and say what I want to say and just use the phone, and I think that's pretty cool. So if that falls through, if that goes through as planned, then yeah, I'll have a more modern iPhone to use. Also, Mike from B Tech Reviews is sending out the iPhone 7 to me, I think tomorrow, and with that. Obviously, I told him that I would purchase the phone from him later on. I'm going to use it for now, and when I have the money saved up for what he's asking for it, I will send that money to him, and he will get paid for it. So I'll end up with the iPhone 7 anyways. It's good. I'll tell people out there right now who've been longtime Android users that's never used iPhone and iOS. It's not that hard to move over. I think everyone overly exaggerates that point. Everything is as is. The only difference is that you have to give up the fact that you're not going to have widgets on your home screen. You're not going to be able to move icons exactly to where you want it. Like if you have 6 icons on the page, on the first page of your home screen, and you have all 6 on the very top of the screen, you can't grab one app and move it to the bottom and it stays at the bottom. It will automatically shoot back up because of the format of the home screen. It goes left to right, top to bottom. That's how the app icons fill out when you download a new app and when you try to organize them. I mean, you can put folders, you can put them all in folders, but if you want the icon itself, the app icon out, not being in a folder, it's all going to go left to right, top to bottom, fill out. That's probably it. I mean, and that's not a really big deal for me at all whatsoever. I mean, I look at my wallpapers all the time. Nobody else is really going to be looking at it. No one's going to stop and be like, cool wallpaper. Like, no, that doesn't happen to me. It may happen to you, but it doesn't happen to me. Cameras have actually been pretty decent. I've posted up several posts on Instagram comparing 2 shots. One taken from the Pixel 3, one taken from the iPhone 6s, and letting people kind of guess what it is. And then I did another one where I took a picture of my dog, and that was the iPhone 6s versus the Pixel 1. And yeah, just let people just kind of guess which is which, just kind of see what people think. I gotta honestly say that the cameras do pretty good, especially for an older piece of hardware. It goes to show that Apple does really not only just keep their older devices up to date, but have iOS well optimized for it. Now, iOS is not by no far perfect, okay? As far as people talking about the smoothness to it, I really have not really felt that. It feels pretty much as smooth as my Pixel 3. So I really can't emphasize on how good that part is, except just saying that it's as good as my Pixel 3, which means it's good. It's not saying that it's crappy or it's choppy or anything like that. It's pretty smooth, but it's not overly smooth. Maybe with the newer iPhones I might see a difference. For native apps like iMessage, I'm sorry for those people who really exaggerate and emphasize the blue bubble and iMessage and all this stuff. Get over yourself, do a half backflip, and pop a cupcake, because it's not a big deal to me whether the message bubble is blue or green. That doesn't kill me when I'm messaging people. I don't know why people let such small things like that really bother them. It doesn't bother me at all whatsoever. iMessage is good. There's several people I know who have iOS and an iPhone or an iPad. Recently I got to FaceTime with my older sister. She has an iPad, so she helped me test it out. I FaceTimed with her, and it's not a major blow away with FaceTime like people are trying to make it out to be compared to Duo. Like, I've always heard these things about, well, Duo is not as good as FaceTime. It's about the same thing. I don't see a drastic difference between the two. It's just one is Apple eccentric, one is Android eccentric, and that's that. That's the only real major difference in it. Duo does pretty much the same as what FaceTime does. Sorry to say it, but I'm not going to BS anybody. It's reliable, it's clear, and it's, to me, I would prefer Like if I was to video chat with family, I would prefer to use Duo for family members who have Android devices and use FaceTime for family members who have iOS devices. I would prefer those two for video chatting. Facebook Messenger gets a bit choppy. Anything else after that, like Hangouts, is like totally sucky. Yeah, I would just rather use the natives. So hey, FaceTime and Duo pretty much on par. Yeah, so Blue Bubble, iMessage stuff doesn't really bother me. I can't get down with everybody else who's like, oh, it has to be the Blue Bubble or I'm not gonna message back. Like, no, that doesn't bother me. FaceTime, pretty much like Duo. Well, a lot of the aspects of iOS is pretty much just like Android. So really, I'm not having a hard time moving over to it. You know, I'll be blunt and fair to everybody. The only learning curve is just understanding how iOS is a bit different from Android. Their vision of what the operating system, of what they wanted versus Google's vision of what Android should be. And yeah, I mean, customizations is... When you're at my age, you really don't care to customize heavily. But it is nice to have customization, which is why I still prefer Android. Will I crap all over iOS? No. It's a good platform. I'll tell anyone that under the sun today. And that's just me having it for almost a week. So, anyways, like I said, guys, possibly an iPhone 7 coming in from Mike. I'm gonna reach out to him tonight to make sure that he is for sure sending it out tomorrow. So I should have it by the end of this week. As far as for the modern iPhone, I don't know when I'm gonna be getting that. Or if I'm gonna be getting that. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. But yeah. That's it for right now, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you guys can let me know by smashing that like button. Lets me know that you guys enjoyed the content that I'm putting up. You guys can also follow my audio podcast on Anchor FM or any podcast source that you guys use, Apple Podcast or Google Podcast, whatever. You guys can find it. Just look for Aloha Android. You guys will find it. I have my audio podcast there. And follow me on the gram for IGTV videos as well. And yeah, that's it for right now, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you just found my channel and subscribed, thank you so much for doing so. Hit the bell to be notified when I upload. And if you made it this far into the video, hashtag iOS Android. Because there's not really much of a difference. All right, so that's it right now. I've taken enough time of your day. So get back to what you guys are doing. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, aloha.